Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, know nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live or listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live or listens in the replay. This is episode 225. CPN, do I need one? And so this is to address a lot of the questions that we've gotten for years. But obviously, recently we just got a bunch more questions that have come across our desk when it comes to doing this question, and we just want to go ahead and address it before people even get on the phone and ask about them in a consultation, because that's what happens. People ask about these things in consultations. Do I need a CPN, or should I have a CPN? And what do you think of CPNs? And we're just going to go ahead and throw out there for you all that most of the guys that are on the internet that are teaching that, they're using them. They're using them. Trust Christian in the vault. We don't use those things. We've had senior level people come to us that are very versed in banking, very versed in finance, and some of them have even talked about utilizing them. But at the end of the day, a CPN, a credit privacy number, these are numbers that really are who they were originally being used by, which were wealthy elite. Didn't want you to know it was exactly them, or if you did know it was them, because of celebrity or whatever, you actually, you people would say, okay, we need your social security number, so they would ask him, and then people would end up getting that. So the CPNs is this. It has a dark cloud around it. It is a dark cloud in the industry. At the end of the day, though, see, we're gonna go ahead and give it to you straight from the vault, which is if you're thinking about CPNs, you're not making enough money. Because some people may say, well, what about elite or wealthy individuals? Do they utilize them? Traditionally, no. Why? Because they're in a position of own nothing, control everything. Is a CPN in your name? Well, it's in my name, but it's not using the social. Okay. So once again, it's in your name. We always go back to this for all the gurus that sit on the internet and tell you there's nothing wrong with the CPN. We're sure we're going to hear a rebuttal video to this video. Oh, there's nothing wrong with the CPNs. They're not illegal. Some things that necessarily aren't illegal, but you already know, ladies and gentlemen, you have to use your common sense. If everybody was able to maneuver with that type of entity or that type of number and all that good stuff, then you would see a lot more people doing it. Not because they can, just because it's a proper way to move. We understand and we know this at the vault. We know that it's a proper way to move. Why? Because it says the Social Security number is the Social Security Administration's. It's not yours. So just because you utilize a number as a fiduciary of the Social Security Administration trust, well, that doesn't mean that you own a number. So we already are aware that it's the same thing with the CPNs. People are putting themselves in a position of what they like to say is fiduciary or trusteeship or managership of something. But at the end of the day, do you need one? No, you don't need one. Why? Because it's for certain people. It's not for everyone. So it's some people say, oh well, what if I'm having issues or whatever? Then some people may utilize that as an alternative. But what people don't understand is that why do you think they're coming out with the Real ID Act? Why do you think that the people are coming out with stuff like that in the countries and stuff, trying to do facial recognition, iris recognition, things of that nature? Why do you think that's happening? Because of that environment right there. So some people may say, so they're utilizing the law against people. Well, if you know your rights, then you know they're not using it against you. They're just putting laws in place for ignorant people, people that don't know the law. But some people say, well, I do know the law, and I know that it's not illegal. Once again, we're not saying that it is illegal. The vote is actually not saying CPNs are illegal. What we are saying, though, is this is a highly rated, conversed topic. People ask about this. They ask about the DBA. They ask about all these different things that they're asking about. So let's talk about it. The CPN, the credit privacy number. If you know that it's for privacy, then you see what position you should be in when you're using it. A private position. But half the people that contact a vote, if they're not in trustee training, if you're in trustee training, then you understand and see the benefit of it as a trustee privacy number. No. Instead, the people in the public are trying to utilize it so they can think that they're private. No, it doesn't work that way. That's why you don't need one. It's because you think you're private, because you stop using socials, or you don't use socials for credit purposes and all this good stuff. But at the same time, you're still utilizing a CPN for credit purposes. Own nothing, control everything. And so people don't see that that's what happens. They're owning something. They're putting themselves of ownership by utilizing stuff like that. Is it not a position of acquisition by utilizing an alternative number for credit purposes? Credit means what? You're trying to get a debt. And who's trying to get it? In your name. This is why the vault doesn't talk about it. This is why the elite in the rooms that we hang out with, that or do business with, they don't talk about credit privacy numbers. Why? Because they're not owning anything in the first place. So they don't need to have the number. But we get a bunch of people that they contact us. So we had to address it. If you have an LLC, why wouldn't the LLC provide housing for the executive? Why wouldn't it provide a vehicle for the executive? Are you not the executive? Aren't you the founder of the company? You think Steve Jobs or Mike Warren Buffett, you think Warren Buffett's paying for his car? The company's paying for it. That's the least they could do. He's helped them generate billions of dollars. Oh no, you think the owner of Bezos, he owns the vehicles that he's driving. Why? So you can sue him out of his life when he hits you? No, the company owns that. The company will take care of any medical bills. How about that? See, that's called asset protection. And it comes from asset separation. But CPNs, all they do is keep everything closely tied to your name, closely tied to you. And people still ask about them to this day. Because it's the easy get rich quick scheme. Every online salesman that's selling that, oh, get a CPN stuff, guess what? They're using them. So of course they can sell it to you. The vault doesn't use them, so we don't need to sell them to you. The vault conducts trustee training, where you own nothing, control everything. Not go get another number and do more business in your name. That's called they're not private. They tell, and even if they were private, they're lying to you when they tell you that then. Because they have one foot in, one foot out. Oh no, I'm gonna use this because it's my private number. It's not my public number. First of all, you keep saying my, and that's where you're gonna get ate up. Because it's yours. And we've already addressed at the beginning of this issue, it's not yours. The social's not yours, and how can the CPN be yours? Oh, I created it. That's even worse. So we're going to go ahead and set this example for you all on the public side that are asking about this stuff, that want to know about this stuff on the private side and how they conduct themselves. No, they're not utilizing them. Not a vast majority of them. On the public side, there's quite a few that are using them. Celebrities, athletes, because they don't want to give out the social. That's fine. It's for private purposes. Privacy purposes. We never said they were illegal, but we're going to address, should they be utilized? Oh man, so many people come with this question. And what's the answer supposed to be? No. That's how we're operating on the private. Not utilizing numbers like that. You don't even use the numbers like that on the public side. And then if you think you're going to open up the bank account with a CPN, you're foolish. See, this is the stuff that these goofballs that are selling people these EINs online, they're not thinking. There's no one that can type into the chat right now, say, I open up a bank account with a CPN number. No, you didn't. You thought you were slick. No, you didn't. Right. Because when you deal with it on the private side, they just want to put you in check system so you don't write rubber basketballs for the trust. As a fiduciary, you got to be accountable. That's your public accountability number. The social. Now you got a private accountability number? Most people are trying to abscond debts for utilizing them numbers. Because they don't know what it's used for. They think it's for discharge. They think it's the new way to move once they so-called captured their name. No, you're not. Ladies and gentlemen, it's own nothing, control everything. That's why you listen to the vault. That's why the vault changes lives. Because we're not giving you the same rhetoric like the rest of these guys over the internet. Trying to get you to pay for some package that you gotta. Ladies and gentlemen, what happens when you get pulled over by the cops? You gonna give them your CPN number? You really gonna give a cop your CPN number so they can run and say, There's nothing that came back on this number. Of course, it's not a social. It's not a social. It's not a public accountability number, right? Right. So what did you just do when you gave them the public number? I mean, the private number in the public. They just associated your dumb ass with the public side now, with a privacy number. But that's how silly people are. And the guys over the internet, they sold you the number and left by then. So you're gonna take the credit private. It's supposed to be a credit number now, credit privacy number, and give it to the cops. You're gonna commingle public and private, and you're gonna get smashed. You're gonna be in court dealing with falsifying identification information. Then they ask you a simple question: social. So why do something different? You think you could change the contract? If you were that good, you would already know what to say. And it wouldn't be giving them a private number to help you maintain privacy. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, all the best to you on your process of what people consider uh, taking control of their lives. But one thing you definitely want to watch out for is the internet peddlers talking about some get you a CPN number. We've heard this for years. These guys, we want to call them broke. But guess what? Not all of them broke, because most people over the internet gave them money for a CPN number that had bad. Sometimes the number was dirty. Sometimes the number didn't actually have any credit attached to it, so you had to build a credit profile around it. Don't be fooled. You know you're gonna hear this message. Everybody says go get one. The vault says, guess what? Own and control everything and grow and build your wealth privately. Be really private. Don't fake it till you make it. Just be private. Don't get the number to give the number away. Some people say, well, can't you have more than one CPN? All right, you thought you was slick. Because, most people don't even know that. Can you have more than one CPN? Okay. So now you're multiple people? Because the credit profile number, we know what that is. It's a credit profile number. But what about the social? Because that's what it's supposed to be a replacement of, right? Or some people look at it as a replacement when they call it like, oh, they're talking about, oh, X, Y, and Z about a replacement, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so that's the public side that you want to deal with, but you're going to use a private remedy for the public side. No, it doesn't work that way. You learn it in Trustee Training. You learn that from the vault. No, you don't. You don't use a private number in the public. But it's supposed to be a credit profile number. I'm supposed to have credit profiles that I can build with it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've seen the fraud. We've heard of the fraud. The vault's not snitching on itself. This is over the internet. These guys have multiple addresses for this number or multiple numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Save yourself some time and energy and focus on growing a business, being an entrepreneur, being an investor, not being a loser, trying to sell people credit profile numbers like they're the government or something. I got you on a credit profile number. You're not supposed to be using the social. Okay, why not? Well, because as you say, it's not supposed to give it out to anybody. Okay, so don't. And get busy building a business or investing. Not trying to recapture the straw man and all this other stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we've heard this for years. It's just utter silliness. And guess what? People will take, look, you want to hear stories? Look, this is how much this rabbit hole can cost you. You ready? It can cost you thousands of dollars. Let's just start out with the thousands. This ain't a couple $100 process. Somebody giving you something for a couple $100 with a CPN, you already know you got trash. That's a fact. So let's move to the $1,000. People get taken for $1,500. People get taken for $3,500. People who have gotten taken for CPNs over $15,000 to $20,000. Oh, you didn't know that? We heard this for years. Man, I tried to get my CPN going. They charged me like $5,000 and $10,000, because one of them was supposed to have this number on it and another one didn't. Okay, and what happened? Well, I ended up using it because I ain't know. I read some articles and I didn't want to go to jail. Okay. Don't. Ladies and gentlemen, you want an attorney to help you out with these type of things. Not some goofball over the internet trying to sell you these numbers. I promise you that. Because When you go to an attorney, they know how to defend it in court. Why don't you guys ask an attorney for it? Oh no, because the goofballs over the internet said, "Oh, you don't need to get an attorney." What do you mean? The vault has to recommend attorneys because we don't have our own attorneys. We educate you on how to go out and do what you're supposed to be doing, which is hiring an attorney, hiring an accountant. You have to hire those people. You're the alpha, you're the omega of the business. You're the founder, you're the CEO of the business. So you have to be able to hire those people. Some people say, "I don't know how to hire people." That's where you get the education. But now sitting on the internet with these guys telling you, "Oh no, you don't have to worry about our account. They can't do it. They public. They barred." You're gonna hear all the stupidity other than the fact that when something goes down, hey, you might not get the DA, but you're definitely gonna get some type of private counsel. And private counsel is gonna go into a public environment and they're gonna speak. So even if you got them privately to talk to you, educational wise, you still want to be able to have somebody that can go into a public environment and make things happen. Oh no, I'm just not gonna show up. Look, we're not going how stupid it can get. We're going to go with you don't want to be caught up on any bad situations. And people do get hit up for bad situations because of a CPN, because they mismanaged it. If you're not managing money properly right now, it's no difference when you get the CPN. It's going to be no different because it's all about money management. Bottom line, how well do you manage capital? That's why they call it assets under management. How many assets do you have under management? And is the CPN one of those things? Ladies and gentlemen, don't fall for the Houdini trick. Make it a point to study, show thyself approved, and do what you know you got to do, which is protect, preserve, and grow the wealth. That's what you got to do. The assets, not sitting around trying to get over on the system. Matter of fact, we're just going to keep rolling with this episode. It's a double decker. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys, the vote doesn't know if you guys have looked at the stock market recently, but the stock market, ladies and gentlemen, is up right before the virus started taking its dip. The S&P is still moving back to its all-time highs, but the Nasdaq's up, the Dow is up. Everybody knows gold is up right now, hitting its all-time highs. Silver's not hitting its all-time highs, so that already lets you know the marketplace looks a little iffy. Because last time when they had a recession in the country, of the states, or a few other countries, silver was up $30+, $40. Right now, where's it at? Still in the 20s, and people are hesitating on pulling the trigger on it. How worse can it get? See, you can tell when money's moving because money moves. What happened to gold and silver when the situation got rough and uneasy and so-called uncertain? The elite and wealthy bought gold. They bought silver. What were you buying? What were you doing with capital? Even at this very time, it's still going up. Now, granted, there's a lot of latecomers to the party, so some people are going to be drinking the Kool-Aid. But at the end of the day, you don't have to be the last one standing at the punch bowl. Because, see, a lot of people, when they come to the vote, they don't understand, especially about gold and silver. Gold and silver is a savings. It's not an investment. You're not looking to invest. You're not looking to invest in it. It's something you hold. It's like what people are supposed to be doing with houses. You're never supposed to sell a house because you can always just get out and rent it out. But most people don't think like that. They think, oh man, I'm going to take this house and I'm going to move out of it at one point. And I'm going to sell it so they can get their sales tax hit on them. Some people know how to do 1031 exchanges. But not everybody knows how to do that. And so, we see markets at all-time highs. What happened to the regular marketplace? These people were debating over another stimulus check. Y'all think the economy doing good if they over here me, Trust Christian and the Vault and Cornell, we bought Cornell on the episode. We said they're literally wiping out the middle class. They're wiping out the middle class. Why would wages go up now? They wiped out the middle class. It doesn't look like they've been wiped out. Ladies and gentlemen, there are countries still sitting down right now. People should have more international friends so they can see what's going on in other economies. People are in the house in some economies. Some people are looking to be out and about and growing wealth because money's still moving. And that's where we are. So money went to a few safe havens. Gold and silver is one of them. Whether you all know, real estate is one of them. So for all the ones that's getting ready to get foreclosed on, everybody that has decent credit should be looking to go buy a property off somebody or get a property off somebody that's in foreclosure for a discounted price. Hey, look, I can get you out of this property. I know you get ready to go into foreclosure. And guess what? We can go ahead and just take this right off your hands right now. We already know you're going in foreclosure. We seen it down at the courthouse. Uh, we seen it at the courthouse already. You going into foreclosure. Let us just go ahead and take the property off your hands. Title it over. We'll get it. We'll go ahead and make sure the due on sales. We'll take care of all of that. We'll get lawyers and all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, come on now. The market at all-time highs right now. And people are, what's going on in your personal family? In your business? That's the question we have for people that listen to the vault. Are you in position? The position is going to lead to the results. There's no crying. It's no, oh, it's a hard time. People are going to lose their homes. You're right. Because they didn't even take the stimulus checks to pay their rent. They just took stimulus checks and kept going and spending money. They didn't even pay their rent with the stimulus check. What kind of silliness, what kind of group of people are they? Oh, well, last time we told people on the vault, there's nothing free. They didn't even pay their rent with it because they got their payments deferred. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled by the gurus online. Take care of yourself and your family. And the CPN number is definitely not one of them. We get a lot of people that argue it down, and we'll just say, no worries. We'll look at the P&L at the end of the year. They're concerned about getting a credit number that they're not going to build $1 million in credit on these lines. They're not going to build $1 billion in credit. They're not going to get revolving lines of credit on these things. They're not sophisticated. See, you want to know how you're doing it right? Don't deal with the guys over the internet. Deal with the guys that are ex-private bankers. And when we say bankers, we're talking about like president of the bank. You guys want a gym tonight? You all can read the Secret Banker's Manual. It's called the Secret Banker's Manual. For all the ones that listen to the vault and they want a jewel to be dropped. Oh, I need to hear, no, man, we got to read a book. If it was a book that I could read, Trust Christian, what could it be? The Secret Banker's Manual. We know some bankers that haven't read it, but we know some bankers that have read it. And it's a book. It's actually PDF'd on the internet. You're welcome to everybody in the chat that's listening live. If you're listening to replay, you're welcome. You got the Secret Banker's Manual now. You can listen to that, or you can go read it and take advantage of the information that's in front of your face. And the CPN, people say, oh, let's go straight to the FBI website. Yeah, you went to the FBI website and you thought you read up on it. But how many? See, we're in the common law environment. We're in trusteeship. How many people have won cases with those numbers? How come no one likes to pull out cases where people have won those environments? Because it's called a privacy number. So if you actually win a case, no one is supposed to know about it. Why? Because it's not public. People in the public aren't supposed to know about it. As far as usage. Oh, okay. This is what we deal with at the vault when we have people come in and ask about it. And we say, if you're not doing anything in your name, what difference does it make? But in the between time, Trust Christian, we got to build credit. Oh, you do? So how do you even obtain credit? Do you have to do something? Yes. So work. That's it. Create something. Not sit around and trying to find another shortcut on the path to riches and wealth, which is already short. The shortcut is being an entrepreneur investor, not trying to get a CPN. So you can't shortcut the shortcut. And for everybody that is, have fun with that journey. We already know how you're going to turn out. For the ones that were thinking about it and say, hey, we might need to move in a different direction or I'm a little unsure, let it go. Get busy. EINs, businesses, building companies. Not sitting around waiting. Appreciate you all for tuning in live, listening to replay. Someone asked, is it the top secret banker's manual? Man, they'll ask if it's one or the other, read both. Hold on, what did they? Okay, it's called the Secret Banker's Manual. It's on the internet, for sure. Uh, we're looking to see what version they have over the internet. There you go. Top Secret Banker's Manual for bankers only. Yes, it is. And this is how you know it. Look, now this is it. If you're a leader, you're a reader. So if you're a reader, you're a leader. And guess what? If you want to know about CPNs and all that other stuff, it's in there. But the gurus, they don't want to tell you to go to that type of stuff, cause then you wouldn't have to pay them for it. Yeah, it's the Top Secret Banker's Manual for bankers only. Who typed that into the chat? Rick? Appreciate you, Rick, for typing that in. Yep, that's a classic right there. Think about how many families don't have access to that and have read that. Why do you think it's on the internet? Because the information's out. So the gurus don't have to run your life. Trust Christian and Vote not looking to run your life. Not trying to be your guru or your guru or whatever they calling themselves nowadays. It's trustee training. Your peers. When you're all trustees, your trustees is a peer. Yep, that's the exact one. And some of these are like outdated thought processes, but they give you an idea of a styling and writing and information style to see certain things. This is not something where you maybe even go and do all of it, but it's definitely a good read. When somebody says, oh, I'm looking to make that transition and I want to have a decent knowledge base, this is what you read for you know no, it's not, Michael. It's actually the one that we just said, the Top Secret Banker's Manual. You can Google it. It's on the internet. We'll do this for all the people that don't want to double check in life. You at least got to double check. You might not triple check, but you at least got to double check. Whoa, it's not letting me put it in the chat. What is that? That's weird. All right, it went in now. It's in the chat. And so you all can feel free to read that. It's in the chat. The chat should stay up when the episode's over. It'll be in the replay. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to have a good reading for tonight. We want to laugh and say CPNs are bad, but this is just for people that are really going to be on top of their game. And if it's not most people, ladies and gentlemen, you all can feel free to read it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.